from Multicultural Motherhood. In case you didn't know, I am a speech and language therapist turned blogger, and I blog at multiculturalmotherhood.com. I blog about all things homeschooling and how to raise multicultural and multilingual children. Today I wanted to talk to you about bilingualism. It's been something that I've wanted to talk about for a long time. It's a question that I get asked over and over again. Does bilingualism cause speech and language delay? Well, if you didn't know, I did my PhD, or most of a PhD because I didn't finish. I did my PhD on bilingualism. To be exact, it was the topic of bilingual children with autism. So I do know quite a lot about this subject. The thing that annoys me so much is people telling me that their child has speech and language problems because they are bilingual. The thing is, people actually tell me that it is their health visitors who have told them this. Their health visitors have told them that being bilingual will lead to their children having a speech and language delay. Or if they have a speech and language delay, the health visitor will immediately say it's because they're bilingual. Well, let me tell you something. This is completely not true. Being bilingual does not cause a speech and language delay. I don't know where these health visitors are getting their information from, seriously. It is one of the things that annoys me most, especially coming from fellow health professionals who are giving the wrong advice and information. There is no evidence to show that it causes a significant speech and language delay. Okay, let me be specific here. Actually, it can cause a delay of 2 to 3 months. Yes, 2 to 3 months. Do you know how insignificant that is? This is like, for example, a child saying their first word at 14 months instead of at 12 months. Now, is a child saying the first word at 14 months a language delay? No, it's completely normal. There are so many monolingual children who say their first word at 14 months. 12 months is the average, but they could say their first word at 9 months, at 14, 15 months. I mean, there's so much variation. Now, if your child is bilingual and says their first word at 12 months, maybe if they were monolingual, they may have said their first word at 11 months or 10 months. But, you know, in the grand scheme of things, a 2-month delay is really insignificant, okay? It does not mean anything because, as I said, there are so many monolinguals who also speak a month or two later than average. So really, the bilingual delay is not a delay. Now, I often hear about people who are worried about their children when they get to around the age of 2 years old. This is normally the time that they've seen the health visitor for the 2-year check, and the health visitor has told them their child has a speech and language delay because of bilingualism. Why might they think this? Well, maybe their child has less words in each language than a monolingual does. So for example, at the age of 2 years old, a child should be saying between 50 and 200 words. Okay, that is the average. And as you can see, there's a lot of variation there. So some children will be saying 50 words at 2 years old and some will be saying 200 and anywhere in between. And that is all completely normal. If your child is saying less than 50 words, then they could have a speech and language delay. Okay, but if they're saying 50 to 200, that is completely normal. They should also, at the age of 2, be starting to put words together. So they may start to put 2 words together. Some children may put a few more words together, but we say average 2 words together. That's completely normal. Now, a bilingual child, instead of, say, having 50 words in each language, I'm talking about the minimum here. So the minimum is 50 words. Instead of having 50 words in each language, they may have 25 words in each of their languages. So if they are French-English bilingual, they may have 25 words in French and 25 words in English. And if you put those together, that makes 50 words, okay? So when they get to their 2-year check and they the health visitors have that checklist. They may have a checklist, I don't know, because I haven't had a 2-year check for my child for a number of years. So if they have a checklist, they may be saying, oh, well, your child only says 25 words. No, your child does not say only 25 words. Your child has an overall vocabulary of 50 words because they have 25 in each language. Now, your child may say a lot more words than that. They may have 100 words in each language, for example, and they may be at the upper end, saying 200 words altogether. That is completely normal. That is what we expect. We expect their vocabulary to be split between the two languages. Now, another thing that people get concerned about is their child mixing these languages together. They may say a whole sentence in one language and add a word from a different language in the middle of that. This is called code switching or code mixing. Code switching is when you say a whole phrase in one language and then say another phrase in another language. So you may say one phrase in French and then say one phrase in English. Code mixing is when you mix words in the sentence. So you may say 5 words in English and have 1 word of French in that phrase as well. That's code mixing. Code mixing happens a lot with bilinguals, and actually it is a sign of fluency. Okay, for older bilinguals, they actually have to know the language really, really well in order to do this, because there are rules that govern code mixing. There are certain places in a sentence, for example, that you cannot mix. So a bilingual who is very fluent in both languages, they will know the correct places in the sentences to make that switch. When a child is learning 2 languages, when they are acquiring 2 languages together, they are going to be mixing them up all the time. This is completely normal. This is because they do not learn at first that these 2 languages are separate, okay? It's only when they get to the age of about 3 or 4 that they know that these are completely separate. You speak one language to one person and one language to the other. They start to realize the people that they could speak each language to, and they start to separate them better. But until the age of 3 at least, they are going to be mixing up the languages quite a lot, and that is completely normal. That is nothing to worry about. So I hope that answers your questions, and if you have any more questions about bilingual language acquisition, if you have a child maybe who is learning 2 languages or more, because it's quite normal to learn more than 2 languages from a young age. If you're worried about your child or anything like that, then drop a comment in the comment box below and I will try and get back to you on that. If you would like to see any more videos about this topic, please leave a comment below and I will try and do that for you. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel and check out my social media. I'm on Instagram all the time, so if you want to follow me on there, then you can. So I hope you like this video, and until next time, bye.